Welcome back to another episode of Matchmaker Monday. My name is Melissa and I am with Sew Yours. Matchmaker Monday is our weekly series where I take the guesswork out of color matching for you and make shopping online much easier. Each week I select 3 feature fabrics and then select coordinating exteriors, linings, zipper tape, thread, and suggest bag hardware finish recommendations. After watching the video today, be sure to check out the description box where I list out all 3 collections. I put all of the products that are featured in the video today. It might also be a good idea to grab a pen and paper. That way you can jot down the names of the products and the colors if you find anything that interests you. Our first collection is our Dusty Red in our Cozy Knit embossed vinyl. I've paired that with our water-resistant canvas in the burgundy bloom print, so I can foresee the exterior of your bag made with this embossed vinyl and your lining here with the canvas. I have chosen our light gold hardware or our antique brass hardware to go with this combination. I personally am leaning towards the antique brass here. I've laid out our cranberry colored zipper tape in the number 5 nylon with the antique brass coil. While it's not a perfect match, I think it is completely suitable here with the Dusty Rose Cozy Knit. Please note that our quantities are limited. This is a discontinued fabric. The only reason I'm discontinuing it is because we only have so much room in our small shop for new products. So we've got to make space for new products. And so we've decided to clearance this one out. For your thread, we have this available in text 45 and text 70. This is our cranberry colored, which I think is going to work beautifully against the Cozy Knit embossed vinyl here. In that same product listing for the Cozy Knit, we have a solid version. Now let me show you here. It's not exactly the same color. It's got a little bit more redness to it, where this one leans a little bit more cranberry burgundy tones. So this is a little bit brighter of a red. Doesn't have any texture, so it's a smooth finish. But this also looks really pretty with the burgundy bloom, so I wanted to show you that. And you could still also make a bag where the exterior has both the embossed and a little bit of accent here with the red, and then using this as your lining. If you're opting to make the exterior of your bag with the Dusty Red and the solid fabric, our closest match for zipper tape would be the red zipper tape with either the antique brass or the light gold coil. Here we have our Heather Tex. This is a water resistant fabric in the color Brick House, and I happened to just come across this one when I was pulling the different fabrics for this collection and thought that this looked really beautiful against the burgundy blooms here. So both of these are water resistant fabrics. This might be good for an H2O to go a sling bag if you're looking for fabrics that are water resistant, or any handbag that you want to make with the exterior and or the lining with water resistant. So I just wanted to point out how nicely the Brick House matched with the burgundy bloom. I've added back in our Cozy Knit and wanted to show you a couple other lining options that you could pair with that. If you have someone who loves to read in your life, then here is our Library Retreat print exclusive to Sew Yours. And this is our liner text. This is a bonded nylon fabric. And lastly, the solid of the Dusty Red here that I've got laid out looks really great against our Harvest Blocks water resistant canvas. This is one of our biggest selling canvases. These two look great together. Definitely a statement bag here with a nice red exterior and a lot of brightness and color inside the lining. And then our hardware choices right here. Really can't go wrong with either of these. I think I would lean towards the light gold because I really like how the light gold pops against the red here. And then we've got our red zipper tape. Collection number 2, I'm calling the color Olive. Now I have shown this color as well as Moss in a prior episode, but it's worth showing again because there's so many colors that match with this beautiful shade of green. And here I have pulled in the burgundy bloom that you just saw that was paired up with the Dusty Red. So you could do the exterior of your bag here with the lining as the burgundy blooms. Again, the light gold or the antique are going to look beautiful here. I think I'm leaning towards the light gold because it has a little bit more pop against the olive. Our zipper tape, we have both in the antique brass and the light gold and the color Army. That's going to look really good against the olive color right here. So that is the first little collection. So let me page through and show you some other options. Here I've swapped out the lining fabric for our liner text in the floral grace pattern, which looks beautiful and really brightens up the lining of the bag. Paired this with the olive. I've added in the 2 different threads that we have that are going to look great. Either one of these are going to look great with the olive. So here's our army and here's our olive. And again, I would use either the light gold or the antique brass. Now I've swapped out the olive color for our moss and the milled grain faux leather. I have laid out our olive colored zipper tapes. These are the only coiled colors that we have in stock. So we've got the nickel, the gunmetal, and the antique brass. I would do antique brass here. We have our olive colored thread that looks great with the moss. So this combination alongside of the floral grace is superb. It's such a sweet looking bag, very soft and feminine. Here's the moss colored with the folk bloom water resistant canvas, another great match. Let me throw in the olive color so that way you can see this as well. I think between the two, I would select the olive. I really think that it pulls in with those darker greens right here. And here we have our terracotta garden with the moss color. I'm not really liking that one, but I do like the olive here. I think that that looks really pretty. And here we have our library retreat liner text paired up with the olive. And here is the moss colored. I would lean towards the olive. I prefer that one over the moss. Now I've swapped out the linings for a print that is going to correspond with a solid for your exterior. So as a reminder, this is our olive. And this is our library retreat and our printed vinyl. And this is, I believe, the Saffiano texture. So that's what these two look side by side. And if you want to see what the moss colored looks like, then here we have that. I, again, think I would be leaning more towards the olive for this combination. Let me show you some linings here. So you want to stick with something a little bit more neutral rather than a print if you're working with a print on the outside, or at least that's my recommendation. So here we have our liner text shimmers in the color tan. We have our liner text in the pinstripe in warm taupe. We've got our liner text solid in the color khaki. So as you can see here, I am pulling in the colors from the spines of the books here. If you want something a little brighter, one of the ones that I feature quite a bit because it's very versatile is our liner text monostripe in the color cream. And one of our newer additions in liner text is our grid. This is the color eucalyptus. So you can't go wrong with any of those. Let's peel back the library retreat and show you our rustic reeds, a printed vinyl. This is in a cracked texture vinyl, so it's a little bit more smoother. So again, if you have someone in your life that loves to read or you love to read, this would be a great combination. So let me first up just kind of go back here with all the lining options and see if you like any of these together. I really like this one. It really pulls in and brightens it up with the cream. Here is the khaki, the warm taupe, and the tan shimmers. Then here is our olive. And here is our moss. Between olive and moss, I don't know. I kind of like them both. I think equally, either one. So I'll leave that up to you. So that is collection number 2. We've got lots of different options for you here. Our final collection is called Dusty Plaid, as we have our Dusty Plaid printed vinyl in the Saffiano texture here on my left. And on the right, I have our solid, which would be a nice coordinating fabric for your exterior. This is our Harrison suede in the color beige. I've laid out our beige zipper, or our beige thread in the Tex 45 or Tex 70. We've got it available in both of those. And I've laid out our zipper tape in the color beige. Now, note that there was a different production run or something. I can't remember why the colors of these zipper tapes are slightly different. But here we have our light gold and our nickel. Here we have our antique brass and our gunmetal. And if I were to choose for the hardware on this particular one, since the beige is a warm tone, I would go with either light gold or antique brass. You can't go wrong there. And the beige Harrison suede looks great because we're pulling out all of these warm tones here in the painterly effect of the plaid print. So there's that option. Now let's swap this out for some different coordinating exteriors. Here we have our Harrison suede in the light gray color. Also looks beautiful with the dusty plaid. We're pulling out those gray tones here. This makes a cool toned bag in my opinion. Therefore, I would either go with the nickel or the gunmetal here. I really like the gunmetal. I think it really pops against the gray and pulls in those darker lines here in the plaid. We currently don't stock a perfect color match for the light gray, so I have pulled our gray with the gunmetal coil just to show you the comparison there. It is much darker, but in some applications it will work just fine. Here we have our Savannah suede in the color gray, and just like the light gray Harrison suede, I would either do the nickel or the gunmetal here. I have laid out our gray zipper tape, which is the perfect match with the Savannah suede in the gunmetal. I think that we are out of stock right now on the light gold. Otherwise, I probably would have pulled it, or not light gold, in the nickel. So otherwise, I would have pulled it to be able to show you today. But as I've said in my last videos, we're waiting for our restock on our zipper tape any day now. So we should have that stocked very soon. So here is this combination with the Savannah suede and the gray. Now we're brightening things up here with our cross grain vinyl in the color oyster, which pulls from the pink tones here in the dusty plaid. Such a beautiful, bright and happy bag. For your hardware, you could really go probably any which way here, either the nickel, the gunmetal, the light gold, or the antique brass. If I had to pick, I feel like I'm leaning towards the light gold or the nickel here. For thread, we have our blush color in our Text 45 that would work nicely against the oyster color and the cross grain. Now we're going to go through some lining options. So first up here we have our liner text solids in the color Dusty Rose. Personally, I think it's a little bit too much pink since we're using pink on the exterior here, but I wanted to show that side by side. Basically, we're pulling from the darker tones here in the print, the pink colors right here. I much prefer to do more of a neutral if I'm using the coordinating fabric in the solid that's a pink. So here's our liner text solids in the color cream. Also, that works well together here is our liner text monostripe in the color almond. And if you want to go gray on this, which I think is really pretty as well, this is our waterproof canvas in the color gray. Okay, moving on to the Harrison suede in the light gray color, paired with the Dusty Rose liner text solid. Here is the cream solid, the monostripe almond, and the waterproof canvas in the gray. Here we have Harrison suede in gray. We have Dusty Rose in the solid. We have our cream solid, our monostripe in the almond, and we have our waterproof canvas in gray. Our beige Harrison suede, Dusty Rose solid, cream solid, monostripe almond, and the gray waterproof canvas. Wanted to thank everyone for watching today. I hope that you found something useful and inspiring in today's video. You could shop all of these products on my website. Check out the description box below where I've created links to the collections to make shopping easy for you. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if you would like a product featured in the next Matchmaker video, please leave a comment and I will do my best to accommodate your request. Thank you so much, and until next Monday, bye-bye.